Let us begin with a little bit of a thought exercise, okay? If you didn't know the title of this video, if you didn't see the thumbnail or anything like that with a wonky-eyed Superman, would you be able to guess, if I was to just simply show you this screenshot, what movie we're looking at? Okay, now here's the thing. We've talked about the marketing of Superman for, well, the better part of a year at this point, and it's wild, man. Everything that I see that gets put out about this, it's just flying in the face of my enthusiasm regarding this movie. I want it to be good. I want a really good Superman film because I haven't been alive since there has been one that is out there. And well, the more I see about this, the more I know that the fallout of the movie is going to be far more exciting than the actual product itself. Mostly because James Gunn's spin is gonna make The Rock with Black Adam look like child's play. And plus, then you throw in the Snyder cultoids who are gonna be specifically upset about some recent news, which I think we're gonna be getting to tomorrow. They are definitely going to have an axe to grind, especially if James Gunn's or the DCU's Superman doesn't get off to the best start, if it doesn't end up outgrossing Man of Steel. Oh boy, it's gonna be a long summer for James Gunn. Apologies for the voice and a little bit under the weather, but there's just so much news to cover, and hopefully I can go ahead and, weather the storm enough, because outside of a little bit of a sinus tickle, everything's all well and good. So if we could just go ahead, and I think it sounds, relatively good enough, okay? I know that there's some people that could probably do with a bit of a head cold, and it would end up improving their presentation on YouTube, and plus it allows me to hit the really deep notes, ladies. But I digress. After watching through this trailer, I'm not going to show you guys, okay? I can go, dropping a link to it, obviously, in the description, but Warner Brothers has pretty much struck everybody in the past couple of days that I've reacted to this, because Warner Brothers is a stupid company. Something that we're very much going to be talking about tomorrow as well, because no, they're not just, it's tough to say that they're failing with the DCU, even though it's already been launched and nobody talks about Creature Commandos and nobody's looking forward to Peacemaker Season 2, but yes, it all kicks off with Superman, and well, like I said, man, I really hated the start of this trailer, okay, because there's been some good trailers, okay? That GTA 6 trailer, I still think about that. It was really good. It was really damn good, okay? The way, from everything that it did at the beginning, just really setting the tone for the male protagonist, just really setting up who Jason is, doing some good world building, and hey, not just explicitly coming over the top and saying, hey, Jason's a good guy, he's a competent guy. No, they showed you through his actions. And what does James decide to show us after the first trailer that he showed us? That, oh, Superman has the Fortress of Solitude because that's in the trailers, and he's got the robots that are up there that don't have human emotion, but they like to say they don't need to get apologized to. But then they also had an offhanded quip because James Gunn can't write a script that doesn't have James Gunn humor in it, and yeah, that's very much in this trailer as well. I wasn't a big fan of the first one, and I really did not like how this immediately kicked off. It just is like, oh great, so we are going to be alluding to that if the rumors are anything to go on, which we've heard about before and we've seen some of them confirmed. This is going to be that 10-minute long dialogue scene in the middle that just really shows a petty Superman. I don't know if he's getting legitimately upset with this interview that's going on, or if it's just acting up a little bit. But if he's trying to put on a front to be a pissy Superman, this is supposed to be hopeful Superman. This isn't supposed to be like dour murder man that Zack Snyder had before. No. This is supposed to be, look up, Clark Kent, real good old American boy. Not Kal-El, the alien from another planet who's just gonna allow his dad to get sucked up by a tornado. Fucking stupid shit. But anyways. Oh, I can't wait, God, because that's already starting. It's like, actually, hey, Man of Steel had an aesthetic, and it's actually aging pretty well, bro. That shit's ass, okay? The movie is murder porn for idiots. Big explosions with a nonsense plot like Zod, Michael Shannon. It's like, there was a lot of good casting. Okay, I gotta give Zack Snyder his due on this one. There was a lot of good casting when it came to his iteration with DC. The DCEU for the most part, okay? Like, Gal Gadot, she can't act to save her life, but she looked good in the suit. Ben Affleck as Batman at the time, hey, you know, it was pretty damn good. I'm not even a big fan of Ben Affleck. I think he's one of the most overrated people in Hollywood, not just in front of the camera, but also behind the camera, okay? The Town is personally one of my least favorite films I've ever seen in my entire life, and to see that thing get, you know, praised to hell and back on its first release, bro, Ben must have an awfully soft grip and an exceptionally warm mouth. But I digress. Pretty decent Bruce Wayne. But then, you know, he'd cast Ezra Miller, and then, of course, Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, and that is something that apparently James Gunn has taken inspiration with, because, yeah, for as much as I'm unimpressed by this trailer, because once again, okay, yeah, you did highlight the relationship between Lois and Clark, and, you know, that was something that was very much alluded to, and it's like, hey, you know that Lois and Clark get together in the comic books, and Zack didn't really do a whole hell of a lot to, you know, flesh out that relationship. But yeah, I guess this 10-minute long dialogue scene, this 10-minute long interview that's going to be in there, which just, yeah, has a bitchy mainstream media, real Caitlin Collins, or I forget, oh my god, like, this is going to be a throwback that, like, nobody's going to be able to get. But during 2020, okay, with the presidential debates and the one that ended up getting canceled, the town hall one, where Joe Biden was interviewed on stage in front of like 6 people with George Stephanopoulos, and the other one was hosted by this she-harpy with Trump. That's who this really reminded me of. It's really snippy, over the top. Like, I can play a little bit of this, okay? Because this is what really took me out of it.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire for what some might. It's a lot.
Yeah, just immediately go into that bitchy shit, and it's like, oh god, this is what we're doing, okay? In the first trailer, you had screaming Clark Kent because he's getting healed by the yellow sun, right? Look up, far more optimistic. Yeah, what's happening? You just screaming into the camera, and it's like, so ladies and gentlemen, Superman. Round of applause. Superman, yeah. But people have pointed out, okay, yeah, things have changed. Okay, I can put this on mute here for a second. But in the first one, he blinked when he got hit in the head with a can, and that was a big problem. And it's like, oh my god, man, this is where we're at in these superhero life cycles, right? Where you're just pointing out this shit, okay? And honestly, the costume, like, that's a big sticking point for people. And it's superficial aspects like that, okay? Yeah, you get hit in the back of the head with something. I'm a relatively strong guy, okay? Nowhere analogous to how theoretically strong Superman would be. You get dorked in the head with a can, and you're not expecting it. I mean, even professional athletes, professional combat sports athletes, they're still gonna flinch. They're still gonna close their eyes, blink for a second when they get hit, or I'm sorry, when a punch is coming their way or a kick is coming at their head. It's like, that was a sticking point for you. And it was enough of a sticking point for James Gunn where he had to go ahead and change that. But throughout the rest of the trailer, it's just overstuffed with characters, and that's going to be another big problem. And James has talked about it before, how this is going to be, you know, it's a standalone Superman film. It's not supposed to be used to set up anything else. But bro, there are so many different characters that are in there. You've got Guy Gardner's Green Lantern, Hawk Girl, Metamorpho, Mr. Terrific. You got this juggernaut looking bitch that's in here. Okay, and it's like, trailers are supposed to get you hyped up for a project. This right here, it was just like with that first one. It's just a collection of scenes, and it's like, you should like this because it's Superman. And it's like, no, I should like this because it's a movie that I want to see, not just recognizable things that you're putting on the screen. You failed to do your job with this one, but for a lot of people, and maybe I'm obviously in the hyper minority on this one. Okay, because you take a look at the metrics, it's #1 on trending, okay, on the DC side of things. It's been released on a bunch of different channels, of course, but yeah, at this point in time, at least at time of recording, 15.3 million views on YouTube, 436 upvotes compared to a measly 14,000 downvotes. That's pretty good interaction. There's a lot of people that are looking forward to this movie, and still, I can't really call it one way or another. Is it going to be a flop? Is it going to be a hit? Is this just superficial metrics that really isn't going to play into how well we can perceive the box office? I haven't seen any long-term projections yet, and likely those will start to roll out a little bit, you know, closer to the end of the month or at the beginning of next month, because we're still a little ways away, right? July 11th. But so far, at least from the marketing, I mean, it looks like it's working to some extent, because overall, like, seems to be working with people, I guess. I really don't know. I'm legitimately confused, because the naysayers, well, they're very much out there. Okay, with this, the summer preview, now we're really starting to go into the marketing, and it's like, yeah, people are, you know, starting to pick pick apart little aspects of this, and I'm not sold on Lex Luthor, okay, at all whatsoever. Nicholas Hoult, I know a lot of people like him and respect him. I don't know if I've seen him in anything, so I can't really say one way or another if he's a terrific actor or not. Heard good things about his performance, and, you know, he's respected by the people that I respect, so, yeah, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. It's just, why can't we cast an imposing Lex Luthor? Is that too much to ask? Why do we have to go with spindly dork Lex? Somebody who's so petty that he locks away his ex-girlfriends in pocket dimensions? Is that really what we're gonna do? And yeah, so you're getting roasted by Axel Braun for what perceives to be, and honestly, not a big fan of the suit. It's not a deal breaker for me. Like, Superman has had a ton of different suits, and that's fine. It's just, yeah, it's baggy. I don't like the color at all whatsoever, and David Corenswet is going to have a difficult time shaking the comparisons to Henry Cavill, because honestly, it's like he was in some shit movies, but Henry Cavill knocked it out the park as Superman. That's going to be another one of those gigantic travesties that he never got to do a proper Superman film. He was perfect casting, man. Absolutely perfect. But yes, the big thing is, new Superman trailer shows a man trying to do what's right, but will James Gunn do right by the fans? That's going to be the big thing, because honestly, James has, oh my god, like, his marketing for this movie, okay, and for the DCU full stop, has been absolutely atrocious. It's been, hey, take a look at everything that I've done that's great and fantastic. I'm the big draw when it comes to this. Come and see. Yeah, we got superheroes. Yeah, we got recognizable faces and stuff like that. But I was the guy behind Guardians of the Galaxy. My genius on display. I was the one who did the competent Suicide Squad. And it's like, yeah, but can we just, like, get Superman? Could that be good? Could we just have a legitimately hopeful Superman story? Could we have a competent Superman? Have somebody that isn't crying and screaming all the time type Superman? Can we do that, James? Or is it just going to be just a funny, goofy team-up movie featuring a guy with a red cape? The official the official trailer for James Gunn's, yes, it's James Gunn's Superman, has finally landed, and with it, yes, a tidal wave of analysis, speculation, and renewed concern from longtime DC fans, with bright visuals, fast-paced action, and an intense focus on morality. In a complicated world, the trailer suggests that Superman might deliver something epic beneath the surface. Not everyone's convinced, because, yeah, like I said, the beginning, it just already threw me off, and it's like, okay, what's the rest of this gonna, deliver us? And yeah, there was a good scene with Pa Kent that's down there, and if we would have focused on that, I think I heard Ryan Kinnell talk about this on a panel show or something like that. There's like, if you would have started off with that and then led into the interview stuff with Lois, maybe it would have been a little bit better, but especially if you're trying to put this hopeful and, more moral Superman guy who's trying to do his best and save the most people, instead of having him in a, bickering contest with his girlfriend, just really establishing the good nature of Superman first and foremost, and then you could go with that. It's like, that would make a little bit more sense, but honestly, we're just arranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, because come July 11th, what's the story that's going to be told? How are these characters going to get fleshed out? We have seen a few of the leaks that are out there beforehand, and well, we've been able to connect a few dots that this is ostensibly James Gunn's autobiography in tights and underwear on the outside of his pants. Case in point, Superman is broke and James Gunn's DCU, more virtue signaling at play. What are we talking about here? James Gunn's Superman movie keeps raising eyebrows, first with the plot centered around fake news and online trolls, and now with fans debating whether the Man of Steel is broke, not to mention making fun of the Snyder Cut. I think we've talked about all of that stuff before, because fucking why? After a Thread user asked if Superman is poor, James Gunn jumped in to clarify. But with the odd plot choices stacking up, it's fair to ask, is this still about telling a Superman story, or more about pushing agenda-driven messaging and virtue signaling as Gunn did with Creature Commandos? Okay, so it's known that the Kent farmhouse, pictured above, which, yeah, we could see, pictured here in the background, as well as he's having his heart-to-heart with Pa Kent. Traditionally, the Kent home is shown as a two-story colonial with a porch, a white picket fence, and the feel of a classic Midwestern family farm. And it's like, yeah, okay, bro, I don't really care one way or another. This is more adaptation shit, and that's why, like, outside of me just going, the costume looks a little bit goofy, I don't really care. It's not going to be a deal breaker for me. All of these adaptation arguments really don't hold a lot of water. It's all about what are you putting on the screen. That's what I care about. Is it a good movie? Because there are so many different iterations and permutations of all of these well-established characters. Are you going to do right by them? That's what I want to know. Fan questioned James Gunn, can you settle this debate for the DC Studios showcase? Is Superman poor? I always thought he was middle class, but whatever, and Tyler Coates are saying I'm bugging. All right, this is on Threads. People are still using Threads, huh? James replied, our house in Superman is a converted double-wide trailer. All right. I wanted his upbringing to reflect more closely the Missouri farmers I was raised around. Oh, fuck's sakes, man. It's just more James Gunn self-insert bullshit. Now, listen, okay, like I've seen some people out there say, oh, yeah, no farmhouses, and the way that it's traditionally presented, okay, it's normally ranch-style houses on farms. It's like, okay, both of my parents grew up on farms, okay, what did I learn? Most of my sensibilities on a farm? Yeah, exactly. And I have a lot of extended family members that do live on acreages, live on farms. They have livestock, they have fields for days. So yeah, I have a pretty good understanding of what a traditional home on a farm looks like. And yeah, having a converted double wide, can't necessarily say that is all too unfamiliar to me. And does that necessarily mean that the Kents are poor? Like, no, that's kind of your own problem if you think the people that live in trailers are poor, but whatever, that's between you and your own biases, I suppose. But James Gunn, trying to draw parallels to his upbringing in Missouri, it's like, Superman's from Kansas, bro. Like, that's one of those things. His name's Clark Kent, and he's from Smallville, Kansas. Those are like a couple of things that you really got to keep entrenched. For as much as the adaptation argument doesn't hold a lot of weight, it's like that's, if you're going to be adapting, you have to get the broad strokes right, and that's one of those things. Then just looking at the rest of the plot and what we can expect, I mean, I don't know, man. It just really seems like a bungled mess. New synopsis for the official from the official Japanese website for Superman teases major threats for the Man of Steel, including Lex Luthor, a giant kaiju, and growing public distrust. Yeah, distrust. Okay. It's interesting, right? Because, Superman fights big monsters in the comic books. Yeah, man, as overstuffed as this movie looks, does he really need to be fighting a kaiju? Don't really know about that. Growing public distrust. Yeah, that's cool. It's a good way to go ahead and differentiate yourself from the whole Snyderverse by bringing up plot beats from BVS. Good stuff, really, truly iconic. On top of, alleged mutant monkeys, yes, acting as online trolls. Jimmy Olsen getting, Superman out of a pocket dimension because he's sexting Lex's current girlfriend. Like, bro, I'm not liking what I'm seeing. I'm really not liking what I'm seeing. But of course, because this movie is going back for reshoots, or it has been over the past week or so, yeah, that budget just continues to go through the roof. It could all change, or maybe it'll just make sense in the context of the grander narrative that James wants to tell. His vision for Superman will be realized, and I really hope that it is a good movie. All things considered, yeah, I want this to succeed. I want a good Superman film. I want good films in general. It's just, I don't trust the James Gunn, because looking beyond Superman, what comes out next? Supergirl, bro. If Superman doesn't hit like crack cocaine, Supergirl is gonna die a swift death. And then what? Because we've heard rumors about the Clayface movie. Oh, you were so excited. Oh, Mike Flanagan had a banger script, and now it has to get redone from the ground up because you don't like it anymore. Your old second movie up, The Authority, that's been scrapped wholesale. So what's left? You're setting up all of these characters and you don't really have a plan moving forward, and the one thing that is set in stone, or the one thing that's been announced and re-announced and reworked and pushed off into the future, has nothing at all to do with you. And we talked about this, what was it, the beginning of the week, something about the Batman 2 and Matt Reeves leaving the project, being directed by somebody new. But apparently James Gunn confirms that Matt Reeves is still directing the Batman Part 2. Yeah, but we've also heard James Gunn say, no, don't look at those official tax documents from the state of Ohio. The budget for Superman wasn't $280 million. No, that's just a clerical error. So it's like, okay, are you just lying through your teeth, or are you admitting to tax fraud? What are we doing, James? Earlier reports, suggesting Matt Reeves was no longer the director of the Batman Part 2, have now been officially corrected, according to a direct response from DC Studios co-head James Gunn, after listening in Production Weekly, admitted Reeves' name as director, listing him only as a screenwriter. Speculation ran wild that Reeves had stepped away from the project entirely. Those rumors were put to rest this week, okay? So yeah, responding to a random user on Threads again, is that what we're doing? Is Matt Reeves still directing Batman Part 2? Yes. Huh? Oh, see, look at that, guys. Completely and totally put to bed. James Gunn slaps down his haters, mostly because James Gunn, yeah, in talking about Brave and the Bold and the fact that he has yet to cast fucking Batman in the DCU, said he didn't want to tell any tales out of school because he didn't want to put too much emphasis and too big of a target on the screenwriter, who is probably going to be James Gunn when it's all said and done. And that Andy Muschietti, the director, who also directed The Flash, the best looking superhero film that James Gunn had ever seen in his life. It is so good, in fact, that the cinematographer for that abortion that came out in 2023 is the same cinematographer for Superman. So I guess James wasn't lying in that respect. You were just hoping he was, because The Flash was, oh my God, it was a visual and audio terror, to say the least. And that's why a lot of the CGI has been looking a little bit ropey in regards to Superman. But until we have cameras rolling, because apparently production is supposed to start up in March of 26, so what, 10 months from now in London, and Matt Reeves is on the set, I won't believe it until we hear confirmation from Matt Reeves himself that he's a part of this project. I don't think it's ever going to happen, because James wants this dead, but his DCU might be dead before he even has an opportunity to yuck up his version of Batman. Like I said, man, I really want this. I really want this to succeed. I want Superman to be terrific. I just don't know if James Gunn has the vision to do so. Can't wait for all of those Snyder heads to start barking and getting even more insufferable. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.